Hi, well, Thanksgiving is coming up, which means 2020 is finally going to end. It's been a long year, and Christmas and New Year's around the corner. So, with that, I thought I would give you some tips on how to maintain your child's sleep during the holiday season. So, you've already put in a ton of good work, and your child's sleeping like a pro, great sleep hygiene, and it's so easy to slip and to fall into bad habits and regressions to occur after these holidays because of all the commotion and uncertainty and craziness and excitement of it all. So, I'm going to give you some tips today on how to avoid slipping, okay? If you are traveling by car, you can time it up so that your child will be in the car for a nap. If they nap more than one, time it up so it's the first nap of the day. Now, you might be traveling where it might be both naps of the day, and that's okay too. But if you have a shorter window and it's only going to need to be one, aim for the first one. A couple reasons for that. The first is that they'll fall asleep easier because they're not so, overwhelmed and exhausted from a full day already. But then also you'll get to wherever you're going earlier, which means your child can get some exercise, can get familiar with their new surroundings, which will help them sleep better at night there. Okay. The other thing is to map out your route. I recently wrote a blog post on a road trip with a toddler. And one of the things I talk about in there is this. So find some pit stops, places that your child can stretch their legs, have some exercise and fresh air. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant. It can be like a tourist attraction that you want to stop at, like a museum or something, but it can be as simple as a park or walking around a town or grabbing a bite to eat, okay? Just something where they can burn off a little energy so that way they can handle the rest of the car ride better. But again, being able to sleep better at night when you get to where you're going. The other option of travel is plane, which is not fun with a child. It seems like the airplane and children just, don't super mix well. Okay, that's all right. I feel your pain. I'm going to be in that same boat with you. We'll be traveling to Ohio, so a time zone change and a few hours in the plane with our toddler. What I can share for you on that is to get through the best that you can. If you are traveling during nap time, see if you can get your child to take a nap, either on your lap or the seat, whatever your arrangements are. But don't push it. If they are fighting it and it's just not going well, call it quits, okay? There is so much new stimulation that they can see, hear, smell, all of that on the plane. And if it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. You'll deal with getting back on schedule when you get to where you're going. If it's not nap time and your child is tired, let them sleep. Even though it's not a scheduled time, okay? That's all right. It's a motion nap because of the buzz of the plane and whatnot. Let them sleep. And again, you'll still get them back on schedule when you get to where you're going. So when you do land, a good thing to know is that you're going to have to be in a car to get to your final destination. And so keep that calm, all right? Don't have people yapping and playing with them in the back seat. Hopefully that can be a chance that they get that little cat nap in if they didn't nap on the plane at all right? Use that to your advantage to wherever you're going. Once you get to where you're going, there's a few things that you can do to help sleep go well that first night. The first thing is some exercise, some playtime so that your child can burn off some of the, energy from being confined the whole day. The other thing is that do not have a ton of commotion right away when they get there. We'll be going to my parents and my in-laws, and we'll see them right away when we get there, but all the rest of the family doesn't need to be there as soon as you arrive, okay? Let your child have a little time to adjust. It's super overwhelming and stimulating for people picking you up, kissing you, hugging you, playing, and it's just a lot, especially after all that exposure that they got all day long. So give a little bit of downtime as well to adjust. Then think about the way that you're going to set up the room for your child. If you are room sharing, try to make it into 2 rooms. And what I mean by that is don't let the crib or the pack and play have a direct vision of you. So your child does not have a direct shot seeing you when they're trying to sleep. That might mean just arrange the furniture a little bit different at an angle so there's not a clear shot. It might mean hang a sheet in the way. It might mean stick them in a little nook. We will be room sharing, and so we will be putting our son's pack and play in the closet, actually, the door open, and that way he can't see us. It just makes things go easier. When your child can see you, they're not going to want to go straight to sleep. They're not going to want to fall back asleep. They're going to see you, they're going to protest, they're going to cry, they're going to want out because they know what they want is right there in front of them, okay? If they can't see you, it makes things a little easier. The other thing is to set it up as similar as you can to their own room at your house. So I mean, bring the sheets from the crib, the blankets, the stuffed animal lovey that they sleep with. If they have a special nightlight or white noise machine, books you read in your routine, all of it, bring it, okay? That's familiar and comfortable for them, and it helps set those cues for them to get tired and fall asleep. And then keep the routine exactly the same. There's no reason that you need to change it. The only thing that might differ is that you don't have a rocking chair where you do at home. And so maybe you just hold your child while you rock them. No big deal. You want to keep everything the same so that way they still know that the sleep is predictable pattern. When this happens, then I go to sleep. That first night, you're probably going to see a little bit more protesting than normal, and that's okay. So wait 10 minutes before you go in and intervene and see if they fall asleep all on their own. If they don't, you can go in and offer a little bit of comfort. Hey, I'm here. It's okay. Shh. Doing some of your key phrases. But do not fall into those bad habits that you maybe already broke once or have never used before. So don't start bringing them in the crib. Don't start rocking them or nursing them to sleep if you don't do it already. Those will become new bad habits that you're going to have to deal with and have the brunt of it when you get home, if so. Okay, so the other thing to think about is family visiting and friends visiting, okay? That's what the holidays are for. It's awesome. It's a great time to connect and enjoy yourselves. But you have to be mindful of how much it is on your child. And remember, everybody loves a little baby. They want to hold them. They want to play with them. They're in their face. It's a lot. And so be protective of your time with your child. Of course, let them see them. Of course, let them play with them and all that. I wouldn't keep that from anybody. But what I'm saying is schedule it. So if you know your child takes 2 naps a day and they're at about this time, have the family or friends come visit during those times that they're not during in the nap. And if it's a big family get together and they're going to be there all day, then you get to preserve that nap on your own. Say, this is nap time. They'll be up when they're up, okay? I'll give you permission right now. You are in charge and you can be the bad guy. It's not really being a bad guy, but a lot of parents take it that way, that they are the bad guy when they whisk their child away to go to sleep. Okay, you're not. What you're doing is maintaining healthy sleep and habits. Because if your child skips a nap, that is the quickest way to get into a downhill spiral of grumpiness, overtiredness, and getting sick. And then you're going to be dealing with it the rest of the trip. If they skip the nap, they're going to have a much tougher time going down for the next nap or for bedtime and waking up frequently because of the overtiredness. It is your job as a parent to protect that for them. They don't get to be able to say it, so it's your job. And it's not mean, okay? You can ignore some judgmental comments maybe, but isn't it what you want to have quality fun time with your family? And you're not going to be able to do that if you have a really grumpy, crying child. So maintain that the best you can. The other thing to think about for some of you is time zone changes. So we will be doing a 2-hour time zone shift with my family when we're visiting. And if you're going for just a weekend, for just 3 days, 4 days, there's no reason to change. Stick to your own time zone, okay? It's not worth it to change and then have to deal with it coming back. If you're there for longer than 4 days, then it's worth getting onto that time zone. And if it's a longer time zone, try to get there as quick as you can. Half-hour increments, push either direction. So if you're going backwards, then you're going to get your kid to bed for naps and nighttime sleep a little earlier, half-hour earlier each day. If you're pushing forward, then it's half-hour later. The half-hour is a small enough window that it's not going to affect them too much, and it'll be a gentle process on their circadian rhythm. So get there as quick as you can, and then the same thing when you get back home, okay? You're going to shift gradually to get them to where they need to be. Okay, so enjoy these holidays. If you have specific questions about your travel, please reach out to me. I'm always here to help. And I hope that you have a wonderful Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's. Take care.